All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live after our little vacation, some might call it. Join with me today, we got Ben, fresh off his Vegas endeavors.
What's going on?
You have a mic. You can talk into it so people can hear you.
I'm also managing everything over here for you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. I
only have so many hands, Steve.
I get it, Ben, but I want the audience to hear you. You contribute to the show so much that we can't even survive without you.
Yeah, that is actually kind of true.
You know, so I need people to get the full effect of Ben every now and then.
I always love it. It's so shocking hearing him talk.
And that is Connor McGann.
What up, what up?
Joining us, coming in clutch as always. Thankfully, he moved in because I don't know what I would do without him, quite frankly. We had a couple no-call, no-shows, kind of. Isaac didn't even tell anybody whether he was going to be on the show. You know, we decided, when the free food came, and if he wasn't here, that we knew he wasn't coming. Derek, last minute, can't make it. And Tyler Pike is avoiding his apology. I know that for a fact.
He's afraid.
He
doesn't want to admit that he was wrong.
He can't come on here and be a bold prick, okay? And then not apologize for what for his transgressions, I guess. But nonetheless, if Pike ever decides to be back on the show, we'll have a good apology written up for him because he owes a lot of people apologies after his predictions going wrong, after blowing it this weekend or last weekend.
Real quick, Thomas White saying Mike's going in and out. I just don't know who he's talking about. Yeah. Thomas, if you can let us know, that'd be great. Thank you.
Jesus, Ben, you've had 1 week off, and now we're having sound issues. I even gave you the couch, so you weren't sitting on the uncomfortable seat.
This way people know.
I don't know what you guys did to the equipment while I was gone. So
Nothing. It sat in a bag.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. That says Tambo.
It says yours.
Mine is?
Yeah, apparently. To be honest, it sounds fine on my end.
Yeah, it sounds fine over here.
All right.
I'll check. I'll monitor it.
Is it like screwing up on the? Maybe we should have sound tested before. Maybe if we didn't have to wait a half hour for you to show up.
Yeah, why were you half an hour late, Ben? Why don't you tell everybody?
You guys don't want to know. Started.
All right.
It's been a week.
You know what?
Tell me about it.
You know what I've been watching lately, and I cannot not watch it.
What?
Obviously, I've been.
Are you on this whole
Suits?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody's watching it now.
It is the greatest show of all time, and I don't know why. My favorite character. Have you watched it?
Parts of it. I don't watch it. And whenever Adam's watching it, I just glance over and I'm like, what's going on?
But you haven't watched it on your own?
No.
Okay. But you do chime in when Adam's watching it?
Yeah.
You watched it at all?
I started watching it when it first came out.
So yes is the answer?
Yes is the answer.
Okay,
way before you.
Oh, sorry.
Way before you.
We got to make it clear. Everybody knows Ben watched the show before anybody else did.
This was so 2010s. Where have you been?
He had the director's cut.
It's the first time it's been on Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I've been watching it. I think it's the greatest show of all time.
It's amazing.
I think Lewis is my favorite person or character
Lewis?
ever. Oh, yeah, he's the man.
He took like 2 seasons, 3 seasons to grow on me. I hated him at first.
I loved him right away, but then I loved him a lot more later, too.
I can't look at him without thinking he's a fucking rat.
A gerbil, something. He's got
a rodent.
face.
He's got a rodent face, and it's the only thing I think about.
And I've seen him in a commercial, and it's less noticeable in the commercial, so I almost think he might put it on for the show. I don't know if that's
like he shrugs up his shoulder.
Yeah,
he sticks in his neck.
Somehow makes it worse. I don't know if it's the makeup. I don't know what it is. We get the mic situation under control.
As far as it's nothing I can tell. It's all.
You know what Adam told me too? He goes, every scene, like when it ends, somebody's walking out. And now that he said it to me, I can't not notice it.
I mean, there's a lot of repeating stuff. It feels like I'm watching the same episode over and over. Every character in that show is good, but it's an interesting show. It's fun.
Yeah.
Netflix can only hold the first 8 seasons. Evidently, there's 9 seasons.
Yeah.
For some copyright,
it's probably like something
they can only have 8.
Yeah.
Right. So I watch all 8, get it done.
You're up to 8 already.
8. I watched the 9th. I found out it was on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Prime or Hulu? It's Prime or Hulu.
Doesn't matter.
That's where I watched
Doesn't
it.
matter. He watched it.
Yeah.
I did,
the
and
last
it was a good last season. A tearjerker.
It was a nice wrap up.
Yeah. There was some speculation about season 10 coming out, but that's not happening.
No, they wrapped it up.
Yeah, no, it was good, really good show. And now I'm like pissed because I got nothing to watch. I almost want to watch it again. I can't go to sleep, and it's like making me mad. But
Should binge South Park like I have been.
yeah, I haven't watched South Park in forever. But no, Suits, good show. If you haven't checked it out, you're looking for something to watch, I would watch it. And it's one of Derek's favorite shows right now, and he's not here, so fuck him. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe I'll wait till next week. No.
Spoil the last season. Spoil the last season.
Oh, I'll tell him, yeah. First of all, he don't listen to the show anyways. I'm just gonna piss a bunch of other people off. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a kind of a jam-packed show. We got a lot to cover, obviously being a couple weeks off, and not much of it is Bedford stuff, but we'll get into some Bedford stuff later. Right away, I want to get into congratulations to the Mud Heroes for winning Mud Bowl. You got that Mud Bowl photo coming up. A couple of those guys we know very well. Where the heck? I can't find it now. But Junior, Paul Teixeira. We got his brother. We got Dave Martell there. You got that photo?
Yeah, well, bro.
Yeah,
That was surprising to
throw
see
it.
Martell play with them and not Gumbies.
I don't know if I think Martell's always played with them.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean we've seen Martell play with Gumbies in a lot of scenarios, but I believe Martell's played with them not forever, but for a while.
Yeah.
Who else? We got our buddy Tangway's on that team. Sheesh, I forgot I sent it to you privately. Devin, we haven't seen him in the flag world for a while. David Jonathan, or Seamies, whatever his last name. He always yells at me because I call him David Jonathan, and evidently that's not his name. Allegedly. I guess. And, Jim Wilson's there, obviously a flag icon over the years. His nickname is Icon. But some Bedford guys in there, but a big win for those guys. What more than the big part of it is how it ended to me. So very interesting. I guess the team they were playing scored either not much time left or no time left.
Yeah.
Tie it up at 18. You got the video. We ready to pull it up as I'm introing it?
Yeah.
Tie it up at 18, and they're kicking the extra point. I don't know how many points it's actually worth. However that works, I don't know too many details as far as Mud Bowl. I was kind of hoping Pike was here to elaborate on that, but he's not. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best here. But 18-18, and we're going to play the video. This is what happens. You didn't have it ready? Oh, now it's ready? Okay. So I don't know if you're seeing it as I'm talking. They're going for the extra point here. And it just shanks right to Jonathan Teixeira. And he takes it to the house for the 2 points. And I don't know if there was more time left to end the game, and they kneeled it out. I have no idea what happened after this or if that was the end of the game. But what a way to win it. Unfortunately for the other team, not the way you want to lose it. But
Junior did just say the PAT was worth 2 points for them to return it.
no, I know the return was worth 2 points. I'm sorry. I don't know how much that PAT's worth. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's like Bedford where you can go for 1 or 2.
Like
if you
this
kick
thing.
it or
Okay,
you know what I mean.
Now I understand what you're talking about. I'm like, he returned it. It's 2.
No, I feel like that's almost a universal thing. You return anything, you get 2 points.
Yeah.
But Johnny Teixeira, who I said is the best Teixeira around, and plays like that, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good. That was both. Took off. Bad out of hell. You're not catching that kid in the mud.
No,
Jeez.
I saw nobody near him in that video.
I would be lucky to be able to make that run without falling, let alone as fast as he did. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Junior says a made PAT is 2 points. Conversion play is 1 point.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we kind of just went over that.
No. He just added that.
I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments.
Not fast enough, apparently.
I thought we established who was doing comments.
This guy.
He's held
I would bring up important things, not everything.
That was color commentary right there.
All right, guys. Wow, amazing show already. But congrats to Mud Heroes, and good job. Obviously, you guys winning it for more than reasons of just winning it, and good thing you guys took that one home. All right, we're gonna move on to Summer Showdown. Now, this was a well-run tournament. I know you couldn't make it.
Yeah.
You've been to these before.
Yes.
I'm very critical on the 4-down territory. The 4 downs just seems like too many downs based on the small fields they used to have.
Yeah.
Like it was like sometimes it was 15 yards to the first down. It was unreal.
Yeah. And it makes sense in like other formats. In this format, not so much, I think, but I can understand where they're coming from.
It's always been an offensive format.
Yeah.
Like very easy to score. They did have good normal size fields. So they're pretty equivalent to Bedford.
Yep.
With 4 downs. So it evened up a little bit because they have to my biggest critique of their tournaments at times, the fields have been too freaking small.
Yeah.
They did, not taking my advice. It's just the way the lines lined up, and they were good sized fields. So the 4 downs kind of was proportional. Now, I don't know if you listened to the last show when I talked about it. They did their elite and select.
Yep.
But they broke everything up. Now,
it was based on your pool play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what they did, which I 50-50 on it, and I'll tell you why. What they did was if you signed up for elite, no matter what your record was, you made the elite bracket.
Okay.
Which is fair for the elite teams.
Yeah.
Not so much fair for the select teams that did well that maybe should have been in elite.
Yeah.
But
was there one team in particular that you thought?
I'll go over it.
Okay.
Because I got the standings and everything,
Right.
and maybe nobody was really affected by it because I think there was only 6 teams that signed up. 2 teams ended up making elite that didn't sign up for select, and we'll go over that. But I believe it. To make that rule, you err on the side of the elite teams, which is fine to me. It's no harm, no foul for the teams that signed up in select. They ended up having a high standing in the select tournament. So that is one thing they did, and that to me is fine because I think that almost alleviates their problems if they were to do that every tournament, but still do the breakdowns of the divisions that they did. And spreading it out, and everybody plays everybody. Just stop staring at me while you pour your drink.
I'm trying to make conversation.
No, you're showing me what you're doing, and I'm not drinking, and I know what you're doing. So, I think this will alleviate their problems, and I think they should do this going forward, and monitor the teams that are signing up for select that shouldn't be in select.
Yeah.
And maybe just doing it this way will even it out because let's say you have practice squad come down and they sign up for select division, they're not going to try to tank 2 games.
No,
it's just not. They're gonna play them out. They're gonna win their games. They're gonna be in elite.
And especially because if they do, that means they have more games to play. That means get tired more throughout the day. Especially in if they played in this summer showdown, hot sun. You don't know how you're feeling after game 3. And you still might not be in the championship.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into. We'll go over a little of what I alluded to, on my on the podcast last week. We'll talk about. Now, I did say I would move ST up in the top 5 when I found out they were in it, which would have bumped Beast Immortal out.
Which was the team that was coming back, right?
Yeah. So they ended up finishing 1-1-1. They didn't do as well as I honestly thought they would. Matt Bailey was there he was convinced that 2 of their players were the best players in that whole tournament. Yeah. And he's gonna try to recruit them. He was letting me know. But we'll talk about my what was it? Teams to watch for. So the team I had at the bottom to watch for was Pelham Whackback. They ended up finishing 10th. They went 1-1-1 with their one win being against ST in the round robin.
I know, I saw that. I pulled up the app that day because I'm just like, I wonder how it's going.
Oh, you're paying attention to that?
A little bit. I was annoyed with them when I went to their Facebook page, checked live streams for like the championship game.
Yeah.
They're live streaming select and not the elite. I thought that was a little annoying.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, but the explanation was given to me that they were having people record for good quality on the elite to do that later.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I didn't check later. Just that day, I was just like, well, this is bullshit.
I don't remember seeing it either. But yeah, there were a lot of people that said, "Why are we watching the B division finals?"
Yeah.
You know, because they were going on at the same time. But so the Pelham Whackback, they lost to Variance, who we'll talk about. They lost by 1 point, and then they end up beating ST, which I can only assume ST came in that game not, thinking they had any type of challenge, and then you kind of get caught in that, oh crap, things aren't working out like we thought.
Yeah.
And they end up losing 13-7. So in a high scoring format to only score 7, I mean, Pelham Whackpack came out to play and ST didn't. And then they tied Beast Immortal, which I wasn't really surprised about that. But they did go 1-1-1. And they did go decently far into the B division finals, and they ended up getting tossed by Raw Talent, who was one of my other teams that I said was going to
watch out for you.
Correct. They also went 1-1-1.
They did? I thought they. Oh, okay, never mind.
They tied Sneaky Links, which is a Southern Mass team who their quarterback's been pretty big on like the local travels. He's a good quarterback. They also have good players, so not many familiar players up this way, but in other tournaments, Connecticut area, they're pretty big.
Yep.
So decent team. Then Raw Talent smacked Hard 9, and then
Who'd they lose to?
oh, they lost to Flip the Bird Media early. So
Okay.
Flip the Bird was my other.
Yeah.
I
think this is the team I got them mixed up with their records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Raw Talent went on to make the B division finals, and they unfortunately lost that game. So Flip the Bird, who I said could make some noise, ended up going 3-0.
Never mind. I got it mixed up again.
It went 3-0 with a victory over Raw Talent by 1 score, a victory over Hard 9 by 2 points, and a victory over Sneaky Links by a couple touchdowns. And then they end up playing ST in the final, not the finals, the first round of the playoffs of the Elite, and they lost 7-6.
Yeah.
Close game, very low scoring for
Yeah.
this type of format.
I mean, a lot of like the games that you would think would be close, they're all low scoring. Other ones, you're just like, oh, that was a blowout. That's a blowout. That's a blowout. But
Yeah, it was a little odd with the some of the low scoring games. So what I had at that point in time, my top 5, I had 5 at Alliance. They did finish 5th overall. They went 3-0, scoring the most points in the round robin. They ended up stomping Most Wanted. They barely beat Bulldogs, who we'll talk about, and then they smacked Hit Squad. They ended up first round drawing Calm in the first round of the playoffs and got mercy ruled.
really,
Yeah, it was 40-12. To me, I knew Calm would have an easy time against their defense. Easier, let's not say easy. I thought Alliance would be able to score more. Matt Bailey was throwing for Alliance.
I was to say Matt Bailey was throwing from. I saw a couple photos. I saw Junior on the team, and I think I saw what's his name.
We saw Quinn.
Quinn. That's
Saw,
what it is,
we
yeah.
saw Junior. We saw Junior's brother.
And I saw Bailey. Not a fan of these Alliance jerseys. Not gonna lie.
Those are the real ketchup and mustard jerseys. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh no, these ones are pretty bad.
I like them, but
I don't know.
who knows? Yeah, I must be colorblind. Nobody likes the jerseys I like. So they ended up finishing 5th, and I'm going by the overall standing, not overall standings. I'm going by the standings after the round robin. They haven't released their power rankings after, so it's hard for me to go through that and do that. And a lot of it would be my speculation at that point in time. So, number 4 was Calm, who I did have number 1 ranked going into this.
Yeah.
They did finish 3-0.
I mean, you have to rank them based off of the last tournament, right?
I ranked them based on the tournament, who I thought were going, the fact that they've kind of been rolling as a team.
Yeah.
You had a couple mergers who you never know how that's going to work out. You had Alliance, who you knew would bring a squad and compete, but you just didn't know how far.
And you really don't know who Alliance is bringing. Like,
Right.
it's no offense to the team. It's
Right.
just
It could have been a whole
Yeah.
set of different guys that
Exactly.
and I wouldn't have been surprised
Yeah.
because of the guys who've played with them before. So, Calm beat the Devils 16-12 in a close game. And then Calm beat Balls Deep, which is Mason's team,
I know.
by 5 points. So that was a close game. So a little rocky start against some B division teams for Calm. I know some guys showed up late, but they did what they did, and then they beat Too Nasty 18-0. To go on, Calm ended up beating Alliance, and Mercy ruled them, and then they ended up losing to the North 7-6. So another 7-6 game.
that North team with that merger that they did make. You would think they, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I said what I said was you could put Calm or North at 1 or 2 and make
Yeah.
arguments for both, and the arguments that are right, you know.
I don't want to spoil things. That's all.
No, but I did again, new quarterback to that team, new a merger with a lot of guys who have played with each other before, so that's not an issue. But you did have some new guys in the mix.
Yeah.
And beat as it may, the North giving up only 6 points to win, and which I'll touch up on, once I get to the top. But the North whole round robin only put 6 points up against, so one of the top defenses of the day, and not even close, to be honest, because I think you had the North who gave up the least amount of points in the round robin. Then it looks like you had Chaos, which was just Havoc, who gave up only 18. It looked like that's the only 18 they gave up to us. Yeah, they shut out both their teams that they played. And then you had 6, 8, and then Too Nasty, third least in points. So those are your top 3 defenses going into round robin, or going into the playoffs. As far as offense, I'll do offense while we're here. You did have Alliance who scored 90 points. You did have Nasty Ones who scored 78, and then you did have the North who scored 77.
Yeah.
So, and I'll get it. I guess I'll say it now, but in the round robin, Nasty Ones scored every drive they had.
Yeah.
So for which is impressive for Alliance. They must have had pick sixes or one play scores, something really to turn it up to move the ball. But yeah, the North killing it with the points against in a format that you're supposed to be able to score. So
Yeah.
that's impressive. Third overall finish at the round robin was Flip the Bird, which again was one of my teams that I said could make some noise. Solid group of guys.
Oh yeah.
Some might call a team of non-superstars. I think a few of them are, but guys who are very good at their position,
Yep.
guys who work together as a team, and they're building that chemistry stuff. And you're going to see a lot out of these guys if they keep playing. They're always going to be in the mix with Mike Howe throwing, and just the guys who are good cheeks, Rua, Bryce. Top to bottom, there's no weak link on that
Yeah.
team, and they're all good at what they do, and they're really bringing it together.
And I think when they're all healthy, mainly talking about Jordan, like that team's not going to get worse. That team's getting better.
He'll bring that team down. He's a bum. Yeah, no, once you start bringing Jordan in, and you have that ability to do 2 quarterbacks, and just it opens up a playbook with a plethora of options.
Especially because both can play center, so drop back. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
it is.
absolutely. Second place was Nasty Ones. We did really well. The merger was a lot better than some people thought it was going to go down.
Yeah.
I'll give those guys credit. Omar, Jose, awesome players to play with. Ant filled in, kicked ass on defense. Nick had to rush.
Yeah.
Not a rusher, stepped up. He did it. He did his job. little rough start, but down the road we figured it out. And
Ant Williams was telling me about it. He goes, "Yo, those young kids," he goes, "they're good."
yeah, I mean, I don't think he was necessarily talking about the young ones, but he was mixing all those guys together.
I mean, they're all still young.
No, I know, but that was a comment towards the young ones, and then Adam and Jay. And, yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Ant Williams wrote with us. It felt like it clicked right off.
Yeah.
You know,
like he never left the team.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing with that guy. You know, and hopefully, you know, I wish he wasn't banned from Bedford. I really do.
I know,
because that would alleviate so many problems in Bedford for me. But we ended up beating the boys 28-6. Wingnuts, which is Wally World's like half those guys. That they put a team in. We beat them 32-13, and then we beat Havoc 18-12 in the playoffs. We ended up playing Havoc again in the first round. We adjusted to what we needed to do, and we beat them 40-7. I think we got the mercy rule. And that's you could play 10 times. We're not going to see that. Havoc was they're a good team, new quarterback, but they seem to gel well. And he was a good quarterback. They have their pieces and their players. But we just got a hold of them that game, and we didn't look back. And then we lost to ST by one score.
Yeah.
On the one drive we didn't score.
I know.
Last play of the game. There's like no, like we called timeout. There's no time, like 1 second left, something stupid.
Yeah.
And we line up. Jay Charles calls the timeout, goes out there. They make some adjustments. I'm like, all right. So it looks like they're going man. The adjustment was hold the crap out of everybody, see if it gets called, and make them score. You know, on the next play. I mean, Derek, I believe, was the only guy not held. Yeah. Derek was getting to the cone. Curtis was covering him. Curtis, very clean, solid fucking player.
Yeah.
Stood with him step by step the whole way.
Yeah.
Derek really just commented in the comments. It's like holding party.
Yeah, I look over, and it's like the first play, the longest yard. I swear to God, it's the guys holding, grabbing. I mean, Ant's trying to swim move through this hold. No call. I was very disappointed with a well-ref tournament, and I like some of my knock on Mass Flag is I do believe there's some unwritten rules with some of these guys as far as hey, we're running behind, we're going to shave time, you know, and stuff. And I know they do that. They can deny it all that. I know they do that. I believe there's some unwritten rules. The last play of the game, you let it go.
Yeah.
And that's fine to a point. But these were so obvious. And I mean, if ST, and I do believe Jay Charles, and he's a very smart player, let alone good player. I do believe he went out there and said, yeah, see what you can get away with. Hold them and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because they would have moved us up some yards, and we would have still had to score. Like, we still got to make the play.
Yeah.
And it worked out for them.
Jay Charles says, film or it's lies.
No, buddy.
They didn't live stream it.
There was enough witnesses to lock some of you guys up for that. And I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we would have scored.
Yeah.
We were just robbed from the opportunity to take a chance to score. I mean, I literally the rush came in on me. I'm like yelling, he's holding him, and I just huck it in the air to the back end zone to nobody. I'm just hoping somebody might get there, but I had nothing. You know what I mean? No call. ST moves on. And
Great group of guys.
Great group of guys. I mean, hey, if I got to lose to one team,
that's the team.
I want it to be ST.
Yeah. Not the North.
Which segues me into the number one seed going in the playoffs was the North with a huge 71-point differential, 77 points for, 6 points against. Now, the North, they beat Supreme Pickle Dicks 26-0. Then they beat Publock 25-0. And they beat the Run Silver 26-6. So
now, Supreme Pickle Dicks, that's not the same Pickle Dicks that we know, right?
Supreme. It says Supreme Dicks Silver.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming that's Supreme Pickle Dicks.
No, because I thought Pickle Dicks at Bedford changed to Flip the Bird.
Some of them did. Yeah. How many Supreme Dicks do you know? Thank you. I assume that's I didn't get to. So I believe the North's games were all at the same time our games were. So I didn't get to watch a lot of them, and
Yeah.
they had it split up. 4 fields on one and 4 fields on the other, and I really just stayed on the 4 fields.
So they had the whole area.
Yeah.
Okay, because last tournament it was just the 4 field.
Right. So I really just stayed on our area, and there was a lot going on, but I think they played every time we did. So, to me, the A division teams that signed up for the A's were the North, Nasty Ones, Calm, Alliance, ST, and Havoc.
Yeah.
I believe were the 6. The 2 teams that got in that I don't believe signed up for Elite, and they can correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Flip the Bird can correct me if I'm wrong. But I know Too Nasty didn't sign up for Elite, but they made the Elite bracket, which is honestly huge for Too Nasty. That's the farthest they've really ever gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know they've lost in the finals in Select Division before, but you do it. This is they earned it to get in here. You didn't just sign up for it. So, to me, that furthers a win for the B division.
That's why I like how it kind of laid out with the 6 teams that signed up, and then there's kind of like 2 open spots. Any team has the right to grab it. The 2 best, there you go.
Yeah, I will shout out to Nasty for playing really well. Unfortunately, you ran into a juggernaut, and maybe, in my opinion, should have maybe gave him a little better of a game than 28-7. But I mean, you got to score more than that. It's tough not to give up points, but obviously the North wasn't giving up points to really anybody, so maybe 7 is good compared to what everybody else did. But they beat Balls Deep 20-0, which I was happy. Anytime you can see Mason pout off the field, I mean, I probably blaming the refs from Bedford and me and Jimmy. It's probably our fault somehow. Too Nasty with the big win over the Devils, and then they lost to Calm 18-0, which kind of looked to me like they were driving. They just couldn't score.
Yeah, they just couldn't punch it in.
But shout out to Nasty. Let's go over the other division winners before we get into the top division. The C division, let's say, I forget what they were calling it. The variance one. You got the photo for these guys? Nope. Yeah, I think so.
They should be wearing white or black.
How could I forget that ugly mug to the right over there? Huh? You got it up there?
It's up there.
All right, the variance now. Good team, in my opinion. Led by a good quarterback. Looks like what?
Ben's sliding the laptop to show me, and I'm like, I can see it.
It's a delay.
I don't care about the delay.
Looks like you're looking straight up.
I know what the team looks like. I played against them.
All right, you guys done? It's
Yes.
not good for our listeners.
Not pitching.
All right, a couple of shout out to Danny Dimes. I believe I could. I think he's played flag football for a little bit, but not a ton of time. Just starting to get kind of known around the area. I've never seen him until the draft league, but good quarterback. Good in a lot of formats. Not one of the top quarterbacks around yet. Those are tough shoes to fill, but getting there. And Variants are building their own team. I like it. They got halves on that team. They got Yaba. They got Steven Diglia. I think that's him. And some other guys I don't really know. They got Anthony Finn, who's an awful player and even more awful human being. No, I'm just kidding. Finn's pretty cool. Good player. Good teammate.
Does they play with him?
No. I joke with that dude all the time.
Oh.
He actually, hit that asshole. Called me out about lying about my stats in the draft league because captains do their own stats.
Yeah.
Buddy, I could give 2 fucks about lying. I give more.
Yeah, you're the worst team. You don't care.
No, this was last year. But either way, I don't care enough to lie like that. I'm not screwing people over. And quite frankly, I mean, Kenny Wheels will say my ego's too big to make people think I'm a liar or whatever, which he's probably not wrong. But Finney called me out about it, and I was like, did I screw it up somehow? And I stood by it, and I did say, I go, why don't we go to a bar? We'll buy drinks. We'll watch the whole game. We'll do the stats together. And at the end of the game, whoever's wrong has to buy the drinks. And he said, okay. Well, I came home, and I'm like, I need to know if I'm right. So first thing I did before I even did the stats for that day, went back, did the stats all again. And I I was accurate.
Yeah.
Didn't mess up one time. And I messaged him and I go, when do you want to get that drink? And he goes, you looked already, didn't you? I go, yeah, you bet your ass I did. But no, good. Yeah, good guy. Congrats to the variants. And did you see the trophies they give? I don't know if they have theirs in the trophy.
No, theirs is in the photo. I think.
No,
Oh,
I
never
don't
mind,
think so.
That's someone's son.
So they had 3 trophies there,
Yeah.
which I assume they got one. Because no, Danny Dimes has it. He's hiding it by his crotch for some reason. In a very awkward photo, Danny. I know you haven't
Why are
been
you
to.
zooming in?
I had to. Yeah,
Steve, that's not a question for you. That's a question for Danny.
you could tell. You could tell he doesn't win many of these. But no, like these cool trophies.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did rings. Didn't see any of them or whatnot. They did the shirts, which look like nice shirts. And yeah, I don't know where they got those trophies done, but I might want to get some for Best of Bedford. Those are sweet. So
No more plaques, trophies.
yeah, congrats, C Division champions variants. Let's go to see who they beat. I'm curious how that path for them went. I know to start they 1 point win over Pelham Whackpack, then they lost to Beast Immortal, and they lost to ST pretty good. Then they beat Hard 9, and then they beat Most Wanted. Oh, and then they went and played Mason's team in the finals and beat them by 2 touchdowns. Suck it, Mason, loser.
Did Most Wanted have her quarterback?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. He was on that side of the field, that team.
Yeah. He's a good quarterback. I like him.
Yeah, I agree. I can't remember it.
A lot of energy.
A lot of times I hear him, I don't see him, but I honestly don't remember him being there or not. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the B Division finals or B Division champions, which are. Gonna post that photo up. Yeah, that's them. Which is the Bulldogs. Now, Bulldog. I thought that was a sound clip up front. I'm like, Ben, jeez, that was quick. Which does seem to be a mix of some guy. I don't know how this team developed or became. It does look a mix of CK guys, Glizzly guys.
Cozy guys.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a Nasty Nation type scenario where it's, you know what I mean?
It basically is, because I know a lot of those guys did play with CK first starting out. Like, you have the twins, you have the brothers, and everything like that. And it's just, this is our, Cozy's the A team, and Bulldogs are the B team. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. And I like when teams do that because it's like, well, if one team can't make it, you still got a team going.
Yeah.
So, Bulldogs missed out on making the A division by a point differential of 10. I believe the point differential was the tiebreaker. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe points against was. And Too Nasty kicked their ass. So Bulldogs gave up 61 points. Too Nasty gave up 24, which ended up being the deciding tiebreaker between those two. So Bulldogs, B division.
Bulldogs was the team I was getting mixed up with Raw Talent, where I was like, they're right there. They could have made A's and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, you could say the same thing about Raw Talent too.
I know, but with the record 1-1-1, I didn't think it was.
Oh, you're talking this tournament? Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. They started off the day with beating Hit Squad by 6, losing to Alliance by 1, and then beating Most Wanted by 7. Their playoff run beat Supreme Dicks 14-7. Then
Which, by the way, Jay Charles did inform me it's half of the Pickle Dicks.
Yeah,
that we know.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Thanks, Jay. And then Bulldogs, 7-point win over Supreme. And then, I just said that. And then Bulldogs, 8-point win over Sneaky Links. And then Bulldogs and Raw Talent in the finals. And this did not go how I expected. Bulldogs beat them by 20. Wasn't too close. I would have expected a closer game.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to watch a lot of it, unfortunately.
Like I said, when I tried to watch, it was just the live stream of that game.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested in it. I was more concerned with how my team was performing and what teams they lost to and how they're doing.
Yeah.
And so what I was watching was raw talent trying to score. I don't think they did, and I didn't know who they were playing.
Yep. Yep. Well, they only scored 7, and unfortunately for them, Bulldogs scored 27. So not something to hang your head about getting to the finals. And I can't remember the last time I've seen raw talent in the B Division finals off the top of my head. Not trying to take anything away from them. But, you know, it seems like they're always either in the mix or almost there. And,
Yeah.
you know, you're one game away from, you know, and potentially who knows how the Bulldogs make the A's and some other team drops. You never know how that's going to turn out.
And I know it sucks for raw talent because I know they have some guys that are injured, like Nate, I believe, is injured.
Yeah.
He tore his ACL last draft league or something like that.
Yeah.
Blitz, something, one of those.
Yeah, and it's a next man up thing with them,
Exactly,
you know, and not that, I mean, Nick's a very good player, not that you can replace him, but the games go on and the team still survives and they still always compete. So congrats to both teams, but big congrats to Bulldogs for taking it. So to the A division, how do you want me to do this?
I think you should just say it.
We'll say what?
I don't know. Who won? And then we'll go from there.
All right, yeah, that's fine. We can.
Ben, you already pulled it up. Don't lie.
Did he?
Yeah.
You put up that SD photo already?
Now he's lying.
All right, throw up the SD photo. All right, SD, you know, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the team. They're very good. Awesome fucking team.
Great group of guys.
Jay Charles is like fighting an injury.
Yeah.
So, you know, where you normally see Jay Charles the runner, you had to see Jay Charles the passer.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I mean, they didn't put up a ton of points in the round robin, but playoff time, their offense seemed very unstoppable. I'll give you how their day went. So they started out smacking Beast Mortal, 34-6. So obviously huge points they put up. Put up a stinker against Pelham Whackpack, mind you, a bunch of kids, and they only put up 7.
Yeah.
And then
Bunch of high school kids.
and then bounced back and beat Variance 25-6. So first playoff game, Flip the Bird Media, 7-6. So not a ton of points that game. But then after that, they literally 4 drives, 4 scores, beat Nasty Ones 24-19. Maybe he needs to work on some extra points because he's not getting them, but he's scoring.
Yeah.
And then championship game, SD versus the North. So to me, one of the most potent offenses maybe have improved in this tournament against arguably the best defense in the tournament, and you can argue it with a ton of points less than everybody else.
I did hear how this game ended, and I was not surprised.
Well, what? I hold on. All right. To me, both teams threw costly picks at the wrong time. Okay. Yep. You know, it looked. I think it was one drive back and forth, both teams scoring, and to me, I'm like, all right, they keep rolling. It's literally going to be who wins on extra points, or maybe who has the ball last.
Yeah.
And you know, but also you knew one of the defenses because they're both so good. What? You look like you want to say something.
What I want to say is, Ben, I got to pee. Can you go back to the photo so Steve can just ramble on for about 5 to 3 minutes?
You have to pee that long?
It's a long distance.
Allegedly.
It's right there. All right, go. All right, so, you know, 2 of the top defenses, you know, that anybody's ever seen in this area anyways. You knew maybe one of them would get a big stop, maybe a couple stops, you know, but I could have seen this game going 100 different ways. Both teams score. Both teams drive down. Both teams are looking good. Everybody seems fired up. Both teams want to win. We got a making of a good championship game. Pike comes out his second drive, throws a costly interception. Just miss, not timed. Chad's there. Chad's tall, and he had probably 2 guys open towards that side. Just shortchanged it. threw it low enough where Chad could just high point it, jump up and get it. Very, very costly pick.
I forgot. He's terrible.
Nobody forgot watching that. So, but I mean, the North, whose defense has been playing great all day, arguably two of the best rushers on the team, and followed by a plethora of top DBs and stuff in the area. It takes 4 downs for ST to score. You know, if it's 3 down territory, they don't score, turnover. But 4 downs, this type, that was 5 minutes. You're high. This kid's a liar on podcast TV, whatever you want to call it. So, ST ends up scoring. Then it's kind of it's couple. I think it ends up going in a half, back and forth for a couple drives. Jay Charles has the ball.
Yeah.
From my understanding, I know Jay Charles is watching, and my understanding they're about to get the first and hit the 1 minute warning.
Yep.
North only has one timeout because Smooth burned it in the first half, trying to get a Hail Mary, which they did almost score on. But
throw up the shizzy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But to me, I think saving the timeout, you know, in this particular case, if Jay Charles converts there, you needed that timeout. If you don't have that timeout and Jay Charles converts what they did, you have
nail it, right?
You essentially could kneel it out. Yeah. Yes. So Jay Charles throws a costly interception. I don't know why or how. I know he threw a pick. There was a bunch of people in front of me. I didn't see it. Huge pick. Gives the North some chance. They get the ball over first. 4 downs. 4 downs to score. They have a timeout. Whatever. They take what they can. They use the clock. Basically get to a 4th and I want to say 9 scenario.
Yeah. They
hit Shizzy coming across the middle. And Yogi played it really well. Some people are blaming the throw. Like, if he led Sean might have been able to get in. I'm not sure. Watching it live and the video, I was convinced that Yogi had him wherever that throw was. Yeah. As soon as he caught that ball, and almost before he turned, Yogi snatched that flag.
Yeah.
Maybe Sean would have been able to move better and make a miss. I'm not going to take that away because, I mean, we've seen Sean throw up some of the craziest moves ever. But nonetheless, yard short, game over. ST wins in huge fashion. And credit Jay Charles. You know, who knows how much his injury led to that interception. But
Jay Charles did let me know. He goes, Eli slipped, got back up, and he made a pick. And he likes to blame Kevin for being so tall.
Yeah, regardless, taking a sack there might have been the best thing anyways. You know, but with ball in hand like that, and Jay Charles, he's very critical about people who make mistakes.
Yeah.
One of his huge knocks on Paul is throws too many picks, which he's not wrong.
No.
But Jay Charles in this particular case did his best impression of Paul and left it in the defense's hands. And the defense bailed his ass out. So, big win. ST, congrats. You know, it's tough. And, you know, sometimes it seems like a lot of the same teams in the mix. And it's kind of, sometimes it bums me out. But then I realize in all of, you know, these states up here, you know, Maine, New Hampshire, Mass, Vermont, like, any average Joe Blow that's going to put a team together and play flag football, we're going to just smack the crap out of anyway. Yeah. So it I don't know. What do we call them? Epiphany. I was just like, you know, you take the top 8 teams, you know, in the area. We're the best around by far, and nobody can even, you know, nobody outside of our league sometimes can really compete. So because you see a lot of new teams coming to Bedford. I know. And we smack them, you know what I mean, let alone what these guys would do.
When Supreme showed up, I go, oh, fuck. And then we played them, I go, oh, never mind.
Well, that was different. So
I know.
All right, either way, well-run tournament. Good job, Summer Showdown. Let's try to get more teams in next time. I mean, there were 24 teams, which is a good showing, but, you know, I like when there's a ton of teams there. So
yeah, I feel like Turkey Bowls where they see the most teams sign up, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
It's something about that last cold weather right before, and everybody who just wants to get out there. And a lot of times, nobody even really cares who wins. They just want to have some fun before.
I also think just Summer Showdown, you're going to see less teams. You know, people are going on vacation and stuff like that. Well, come around Thanksgiving, it's like, well, everybody's home.
Yeah.
So we can play.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong there. So, any good comments about the tournament? Anything I want to address before we move on from it?
Like I said, it was just Jay Charles just, letting
Tooting
us know,
his own horn. Yeah.
Well, letting us know who made the pick and blaming the person on the defense.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jay. Once again, you reign supreme. All right, we're gonna move on. We got a couple upcoming Tambo Time events. One might never happen, and I have a conspiracy here. I think Ben's afraid of doing the Ben dating game.
Boo.
Yeah. So let me ask you a couple questions, Ben. Like, I've been super excited about doing this.
Yes.
Have you set up anything to do this little Tambo Time event?
It depends. Well, I've been waiting to see how you wanted to actually do it. So
What do you mean?
He's told you how he wants
He
to
hasn't.
do it.
He hasn't asked me one time how I want
Like,
to do
are
this.
you-
But you,
having
but
people
you did.
call
You've
in
said this
individually?
multiple times where you want them to call in.
I know.
And
To
that's,
video in,
and start
like-
asking questions. And this way you can mute one person and start talking.
Who's interviewing who? Am I asking questions?
You're asking questions to them.
Are you asking questions on my behalf?
You're
Like,
asking questions to them. I don't understand how this is hard to figure out.
So-
You're
so-
asking.
So
Okay, all right,
I
fine.
did say you were going to have a list of questions.
Okay.
And I did
come
say
up with, or you come up with.
no, you. This
Okay,
is your. I told you from the get go.
All right,
And I
all right.
told any women.
And the
that said
show's paying for it.
This
It'd be
isn't.
really dangerous.
I said this. This isn't. I'm not trying to make fun of you or
Yeah.
any of the women. This isn't a joke. We're trying to do
okay.
a real, legit dating game.
All right.
So it would be questions you would have to come up with. And I would like the girls to each have maybe a couple questions they have of their own to
Okay.
change it up. That maybe us normal guys aren't thinking.
Yeah, like, 3 to 5.
No, not that many.
sounds like an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, it basically is.
You give some of these women some five questions.
That's gonna be
no
mad,
offense.
mad sexy, I'm sure.
Some very hypothetical questions. Yeah. So do you have the Skype set up at least?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you believe him? I don't believe him.
I don't know. Skype's pretty easy to set up.
Pretty easy to
I
set
know,
up.
but I still don't think he.
I don't know if he has it set up where it will broadcast, but I think he has it set
Yeah.
up.
Do you have it set up so it'll broadcast?
Yeah, I can hook it into the broadcast.
You can, so you don't.
Do you have it?
I
right.
can. Have I actually tested it? 100%
Right. You haven't
no,
even tested it yet.
But I know it'll
Yeah,
work.
why don't you call your
I
sister?
know it'll work hypothetically.
All right. Why? He didn't know. He was saying for help. Because when we talked to her about it, she seemed excited about it.
Yeah, she thought it was funny.
Yeah. Now, did you figure out if we can get 3 on the screen at once?
Yeah, I could do that.
We could have
Depends if
3.
you want to do that.
I want 3 up there so we
Yeah.
can cycle through.
You want?
Oh, so you got to set up like Zoom.
I don't know.
Zoom or like
Buddy,
a
this is not my
FaceTime
forte. This is why we didn't have a show last week.
I'm sorry.
That's why I was asking, how do you actually? Do you want it one at a time? You want it together? You want to see each other? You want it like a queue? Like, that
What
all
if
matters.
they could see them, but they couldn't see him?
Well, the thing is, if we do it that way, I'm going to see them because I'm running it.
Fuck.
No, that's when you would come in or somebody else who could.
Fuck. Alex.
So you're
Oh,
running
yeah,
it.
we got to talk to Alex. See, all right.
That's
all right.
why I asked these questions. I haven't
I've
gotten
given
answers
you
yet.
answers to questions.
I haven't gotten all the answers yet. I'm getting like conflicting answers.
No, you haven't. Who
No.
else are you asking?
You.
And?
And I'm getting conflicting
I'm not
answers.
giving you conflicting
Yes,
answers. I give
absolutely
you
are.
one answer. That's not
Can we
conflicting.
do phone calls? Can we do Skype? Can we have them all together now? I don't want you to
asked
see them.
I
don't
asked
want
you
to see
the different. I asked you different ways we could do it. That's not conflicting.
And I've thrown them out.
He just
there
wants to
and
know
I've
what
been-
your limitations are, Ben.
There's no limitations. You can literally do anything.
See, this is the problem.
I can do anything.
This is the problem when I'm the only one doing anything on the show. As far as content goes, yes, the show runs because of you. I'm not going to take that away from you. But as far as thoughts and ideas and topics and how to run things,
Well, I've been told
it's all
that-
me.
what I've been told
You and
is-
I get no help from anybody else.
What I've been told is it's supposed
I'm a
to
last
be.
minute addition,
In
so I
your
don't want to hear
In your
this.
defense, you would help out.
I've been the last I was told it's supposed to be completely blind, where they don't see me, I don't see them. Questions are asked.
I-
We don't see each other until we go on the date.
I don't care if they see you. You can't see them until you pick which one. That's the point.
So you have their cameras turned off. No, it's Zoom with their cameras turned off.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah.
We'll have them call in and have the cameras off. I already labeled that out.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Or we could do a phone call, whatever. It's a little hard to cue people up on a phone call.
What's
easy
the
on
easiest
Zoom.
way?
Zoom.
Which I thought, that's what I thought.
Zoom's probably easier.
You just mute somebody and then you go, okay, next person.
Yeah, Zoom's probably easier.
Seems easy, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting a lot of resistance. That's why Ben, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
What, you getting nervous?
Whoa.
He's getting cold feet.
No. He said, I'll let you know. What does this mean?
I'll let you know off
He's,
air what that
he's
means.
getting cold feet. Ben, do you want? Would it be
No, I'll
easier?
let you know off air what that means. I'm not saying anything.
You're getting a free date.
Would,
I don't know
it be,
why
would
you're
it be
getting
easier
cold
if I
feet.
found somebody else to do it?
I don't care. I mean, you might have to.
I might have to. Did you get married in Vegas?
No, I didn't get married in Vegas.
What's his name?
Yeah, we're already working on an annulment. All right.
You signed the prenup.
All right. Well, all right. This is news to me, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a person who listens to the show and you want to be part of the dating game, evidently the Jake dating game fell through the toilet and Ben followed it as well. So
No.
I guess
Not yet, but we'll see.
no. There's not yet. We can't in or out here. All right. We're moving on from Ben for now. If anybody wants to be a part of the dating game, hit me up. I don't care who you are, as long as you listen to the show. We'll make it happen. This is how I find out about shit not gonna work on the show.
Yeah.
You think Ben would have let me know earlier? No, Ben would tell me about his stupid steak dinner that he had that was so good, and calls me from fucking Europe to talk about his stupid fish dinner, but he can't tell me this shit.
You didn't ask me. You didn't tell me this was part of the show today.
Ben.
sent pictures right as we're about to go. Oh, by the way, I got 2 more.
No, Ben.
Yeah.
First of all, when we first talked about the dating show for you, it was supposed to be the week you came out after the week you came back.
Yeah, and who's here like to do it?
It doesn't matter. We could have just done it with us 3.
They could have, but you.
You
didn't-
had nothing prepared. You
didn't
haven't
say
brought it up.
You didn't say anything about that either.
It's a dating game. If I force somebody to do it, I feel some type of way about it. Like, I'm not trying to make anybody do this.
I had no agenda for this show given
He-
to me.
he-
He's ready to collect money somehow.
When Jake couldn't do it, he raised his hand so fast, and now all of a sudden he's got cold feet. Oh yeah, can I do it?
I will not acknowledge that.
And
That was.
It's,
that's not
we
true.
record fucking shows.
I'm gonna hit allegedly multiple times.
All right. Well, any comments about that?
Yeah, we do. Kevin Adams says, Steve, do you want to be on the dating game?
Who?
Kevin Adams.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's my brother.
Goose?
Yeah,
you
Goose.
go.
Yeah, I don't know. Zoom.
So, Steve, do you want to be on the dating
I blame Kevin.
That's Jake
I can't
Charles.
host my own dating game. It's not going to happen.
We'll host it for you.
Yeah, no chance. I can't get people to show up to the friggin' show or do anything with the show.
Except for me.
So, all right, the other Tambo Time event I got coming up. Now that the dating game's out, I think we'll have to. It's gonna have to be not next week, the following week for sure.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, we're gonna do Tambo Feud, like Family Feud. All right. So some of you guys noticed I was walking around with a notebook at Wednesday asking people some questions. You know, working on my survey says. Wait, is that Family Feud? No,
Yes.
no, is it?
Yeah. It
Show
is.
me. No, it's show me.
Survey. Well,
Is it
no,
survey says?
Survey says.
Is that
yeah.
what the old one?
It might have been.
Okay.
It might have been like the Tim the 2-man guy one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm working on. So, I was. The goal is to survey 50 people, and do a little Family Feud, Tambo
Yeah.
Feud. So, which is another thing, Ben. I'm going to need you to come up with some sound effects. It's like
A ding and a eh.
yeah. Can you, oh.
That is it. That is the sound
How
they
are you
use.
preparing for events you don't even know about?
I've had that for weeks.
That's perfect.
That was actually for the Ben dating game, but
Oh, it was?
yeah.
Your brother says angry
As
you is the best you.
As soon as she gives the wrong
Hey,
answer,
yeah.
as soon as she gives the wrong answer, it's
The funny thing, Goose knows that was angry me. Goose knows I was actually getting mad. So, these are the qualifications to be on Tambo Feud. and this might piss some people off, but first qualification. Never have been on the show before. Let's get some new blood in here.
And I'm out.
That's number one. Who knows? You'll probably have to fill in. So, number one, never been on the show before. So anybody who hasn't been on the show, this is open for the show. And we'll have a couple prizes. Ben's going to buy something for us. He already said. So, number one.
Well, he's not going on a date, so he's going to spend the money.
Number two, I want 2 teams of 2. And I prefer it to be somebody you are on a flag football team with.
Yeah.
That way, let's say in theory we got 2 nasty.
Can it be me and Booth?
Zoom? All right. I would allow you and Booth. I mean, I'd root against you guys, but I would allow you guys. See, that would be cool. In that case, we'd have Team Zoom versus, like when they do, this is a Team Tamborses, and, All right. So, 2 things. Well, obviously, you have to be available in 2 Tuesdays from now.
Yeah.
And be here on time. But never been on the show unless it's the dream pair of fucking Zoom's fucking Connor and Booth.
Top 5 rushers.
And on the same team. So that's the goal. Now I need you to come up with some type of scoring system we can have up there. You got the sound effects. All right. Okay.
No problem.
We got 2 weeks to get this done.
No problem.
We're becoming a show that says we're going to do things and we don't do things.
Well,
Allegedly.
No, there's no allegedly. We're floating this dating game forever.
Who's the content creator?
I'm the creator. I need an executor.
Alex DeSico wants to play with AK, and he swears they're winning the whole thing.
For Team 2 Nasty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we team the Force?
Do we have a mic to, tone down AK's voice?
No, let that man scream as loud as he wants, okay? That's the happiest guy in the world. You cannot contain him.
All right, I would 100% allow that. So, message me privately, email the show. What?
If we get a few people, I think we should make it a pool to see who people want.
Oh, we have people vote on it?
Yeah. That way it
We
doesn't seem like we're picking who we think would be best. It's who people want to see.
I agree, but all right, let's say in theory let's say we have 4 teams that are like, hey, we'll do it. What if we do it once?
And then do it again.
It goes great. Do it again. Maybe have a mini tournament. Okay.
I like it.
So, hey, if there's a lot of people who want to do this, we got options here. I got Carter, the brain. I mean, he really should have been part of the show to begin with. and Ben, he promises he'll buckle down on this one and get it done. So
I don't even know who that guy is.
Ben?
Ben, who also should have been part of the show to begin with.
Yeah, but you haven't proved it really, except the fact that the show's off the ground when you're here.
So the show didn't happen last week.
Yeah, I know.
That's not proof.
You know what? I still could have made it happen. I dropped the ball.
Oh, okay.
I could have.
He finally admits it.
What, that I could have made it happen?
No, that you dropped the ball.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Because there was one more person I could ask, and I just didn't ask him.
All right.
Ben, I listen. I credit you for everything you do.
Do I know? I know this person, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. You would have been screwed out of a job.
he might have been.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
I mean, how could I not have Ben? He's my favorite person in the world.
I know.
And I gotta stroke his ego every time. Do I pat myself on the back every time I go out and throw a touchdown?
Pretty much.
No chance. No. I was actually thinking about that. No. I never celebrate. And
I know. And it's great when you do, because
throw-
we memorize it all the way through, and we can't wait for you to do it again.
What you do actually do is when you throw a touchdown pass, you yell at the one person that didn't do did the slightest thing wrong, even though you just scored.
That's not a celebration, okay? That's critiquing himself.
You do the opposite of celebrating.
yeah, yes and no. I don't know. The celebration thing to me, I don't know how many years I have left playing flag football.
Yeah.
And honestly, this does stem back from Don retiring.
Yeah, I know.
It does bother me.
I know.
It's like
I can tell.
It does. So, but I don't. The last time I can honestly remember celebrating really was 3 times come to mind. Worlds,
Yeah.
which obviously, hands down.
Oh, yeah, you're going to celebrate that anytime.
I celebrated the first Natty D's championship. We beat them just because of walk off, and it's just I don't know. A lot of people watching us.
Yeah.
It was we built that team to go out and win, and we did. And then when Adam caught the overtime
On the last Natty D's
right,
one, yeah.
So when it
That one I was even celebrating. I didn't even celebrate in Worlds that much. I was like, woo!
well, it's a little different.
I know.
I get it, but Worlds that was 4 years in the making to finally to win that. So that was huge. But anytime watching my son do something even makes it even 10 times more meaningful. But I like to I don't know, I do it, I soak it in. I feel like celebration almost takes away from it.
Yeah. Just want to say Thomas White says his X-ray technician is 68 years old, still plays ice hockey.
That's impressive.
I know.
He's like, you got plenty of time left.
You don't need to chime in, okay? Shut up.
Why else do I have a microphone?
So you can just contribute to a conversation instead of chiming in when I
You
read the
didn't read the
comments.
full comment. You did a shitty job reading the comment.
Also, Preston and says him and Dana would do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For Team Ballbuster.
Yeah, Team Ballbuster. Hornets.
All right, that would or Hornets, yeah, whatever team they're on together. That would not be bad. Ice hockey with checking and stuff, that's definitely physical.
Yeah.
If it's a non-contact ice hockey, I almost feel like that might be better on the body than flag football. I don't know.
It's a little weird because I feel like my hips feel so fucked up now,
yeah.
and I'm 27,
Right.
and they hurt.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how you feel.
I did hockey for the longest time, but that was in my young age. So not young, but I stopped playing.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody stretch. Don't read anything you read in sports science. Just stretch. It'll help.
Yeah, for sure. But I think I stopped playing hockey altogether at like 32, 33, something.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. But I don't remember ever being physically so hurt than when I constantly play flag football all the time. I don't know if it's the turfs fields or, I have no idea what the constant beating on. But honestly, like, hockey felt a lot better. But I also was a lot younger, I guess, and a lot less injuries.
I mean, in your 30s, younger.
I mean, that's,
Yeah, I know.
30 was over 10 years ago. So, all right, well, we'll move on from the upcoming Tambo Time events. Hopefully we get one of these done. I got a couple, what? Oh, I thought you were saying something.
Laughing in agreement.
Oh, okay. I'm glad this is funny to you.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's funny to everybody else,
It's
too.
amusing. You need me so much.
But he does know I can have him replaced next week, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. It
I
happen.
think he doesn't think you can, but I know you
it
can, so
happen.
that's funny to me.
Ben, all I'm going to say is I'm not going to replace you because you're my guy and I like you.
You know,
But
But he could.
I could.
I still have all the passwords to your accounts.
Wow, we'll make new
Oh,
ones just
wow,
like we
what a
did.
shocker. I'm also an admin on those.
Reboot number 3.
Oh, now you're going to sabotage the show.
Well, you know.
All right, I want to give a couple happy birthdays shout outs to Alex Call and Johnny Vargas and Frankie Morales. All have birthdays today, surprisingly. Woo! That was really it. I mean, Rooster had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Rooster.
Did you go to his birthday celebration?
I don't think they had one.
What?
If they did, I wasn't invited, which makes sense, but
Wow, they have to go to your trivia, but you don't get to go to his?
I made them go to my trivia. Yeah. Hey, why don't we comment on that? I was called a narcissist for that today. Is that narcissist? I mean,
Okay, so
Just today.
isn't any birthday party about a person narcissist then?
I don't know because I've never had a birthday party
Ever?
ever.
Whoa. Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Youngest of 3, didn't have one. Parents divorced.
Yeah, I know, but
Dark times, Brad. Dark times.
kind of.
Yeah.
You're like 26 now or something, right?
27.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from
I-
21
and-
to 27, you haven't had a birthday party?
I just don't celebrate it because of
Sure.
younger
When's your birthday?
years. I don't want to say.
Look it up on Facebook.
There's certain things.
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't know. I really don't know if it's narcissistic or not. And especially, you're the oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it always is. Who has more baby photos, you or Brian.
I don't.
It's probably you.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's just how it always is. I just feel like the younger siblings just don't care as much as the older does. So I don't know.
Maybe. I thought having a big bash for my 40th would have been fun.
No, and that's fine because it's a.
But
know, 40.
I love doing trivia,
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't.
Ben, stop looking at my Facebook.
Steve told me.
It's his job.
Yes,
All-
but this is
all I'm
my
saying
job.
is, when you turn 28, we're all having a big party.
I'm
for you.
going to change it right now.
Somebody go on Cotton's Facebook
I'd
and look at
still
his big
find
birthday
it.
right now.
I don't need Facebook for that.
And I like doing trivia.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't want
I did like being involved in it, by the way.
Well, I thought that would be cool. I mean, we do a regular trivia, and Dave Cap and I wipe the floor with everybody there. And
Yeah.
why is that fun?
Yeah, but you go to the senior center and you're waxing your grandmother.
My grandmother's usually on my team. Number one, hey, we cover all bases. Like,
Yeah.
she's got all the history questions. She's very good with the Bible questions.
Wrestling, you got it.
Oh, wrestling, 90s music. I mean, sports. Dave and I got all that wrapped up. And I think Shay, his girlfriend's got a lot of the country. He's got some country. He's
Yeah.
a big Swiftie. He's got all the Taylor Swift songs.
Honestly, I started coming around the country a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah. I started listening to, I think it's Tyler Childers or Childers. He's honestly got some really good music.
No.
And there's like, if you ever seen Last of Us, he has a music video.
Yeah.
Stop showing him it.
So you didn't have a birthday party a couple months. Oh, so I got like 10 months to prepare for this. Oh yeah, you.
I'll be gone, buddy. I'm moving to Colorado.
No,
Bye.
you're not. No, you're not. What do you? So you are afraid of having a birthday party?
Oh yeah.
Why?
I'm just not used to it. I think at this point in my age, it's just
So
weird.
We're gonna do a surprise party on Tambo time.
I will
For
be
fun.
nowhere you will ever find me.
He'll forget about this tomorrow. I promise him.
That's true.
So, anyways, they were calling the fact that I did the trivia about me narcissistic,
Yeah.
which I thought that way it was got everybody involved.
Hold up. I gotta say this.
Speaking of being narcissistic,
Are you talking about what is
Yes.
it? Bryce Sturvant? He says, "Steve, notice me."
with like
I think
the
it's
little
Bryce.
heart thing and like
Oh, that I
sad
noticed
eyes.
him.
Yeah.
He wants
Yeah.
you to
Well,
notice him.
he said, "Hi, Steve," and then he says, "Steve, notice me."
Oh, it's like a command.
Well, it's in the chat or the
He's,
comments.
no, he's just begging for attention.
I like Bryce.
It's more of an ask. Yeah, I like him too. He's been coming up big in Bedford for us. He's a
I
good
know.
player. He's
Really nice kid too. At first, you see the kid, you just laugh, and then you go, "Really like this guy."
I feel like Bryce has a facade on the field.
Yeah.
The Bryce on the field and off the field are two different people.
I know. I like them both though.
I do
That's
too.
the thing.
Oh, I do too. But I feel like he has to try to prove himself, even though I was pissed off at him when we were waxing the fuck out of them. He got a pick on an extra point or something, and threw my ball into the middle field. I'm like, what a dick. I was like, I haven't said booty. Told him he made 2 good plays. I haven't said a fucking word to him, and he tosses my ball to the other field.
Nice pick, Bryce.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Dickhead. So, all right. How long have we been going for here? An hour 15. Why don't we get into Bedford games real quick? We'll talk. We'll talk about
Are we talking about games or are we making predictions?
as far as
Because I know it's been 2 weeks. I don't know if you want to do recaps or you just want to
That
say
was
who
fun.
you got going.
we're not going to recap much. I'll just say the top teams that I think are going to be in each.
Dropping
In
the
the-
Bedford games
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
Bedford games. Yup. Yup. Bedford games. Let's fucking go. Bedford games. Let's put on a show. Bedford games. You already know. Bedford games. We're going 6-0.
All right. Such a banger. I want to go over a couple of these things that Jimmy put in the.
Wednesday or Thursday?
I believe I'm looking at Wednesdays right now.
Okay.
But the reminder to each team needs to play 3 out of the 6 games to be eligible for playoffs. they cannot play half a game on one team and a half a game with a different team in the same time slot. So somebody must have tried to do that recently.
I don't know who.
I don't know either.
Yeah. I think, if anything, it probably, and I think it's, I'm not going to lie, I think it's Booth, just because last week it was Gumby's versus Zoom. And I don't know how many games Booth has made for Gumby's, and I really don't know how many.
Did he
games.
ask to play on both?
No, he only played with one, but I think he was trying to get checks for both. But I'm not 100% sure. I could be.
Did they check him for both?
I don't even know. I could be even wrong about this. I don't think it could even be him because
Unless
I'm just saying that because I know he plays for both. That's the only reason.
You have the schedules by any chance? Try to go look for him in the chats and see if he put that in week 3, just to see.
Alex thinks it was him on Thursday.
It might have been.
Yeah.
But and to me that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And this is why I disagree. And the thing is, Jimmy's very receptive of critiques that I give him, unless somebody has already made a case to make this rule. So if somebody went to Jimmy and said, "I don't think you should allow this," for whatever reason, and then maybe they got a good argument, Jimmy ends up making a rule and then going with it. You argue that rule at that point in time, then Jimmy's in it to win it. No matter what the points you make or whatever, it usually doesn't get changed right away.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually it gets swept on the rug or. So to me, how. Yeah, so no. So week 3, it was code of conduct and bullshit. So something
happened in week 3.
It's a safe bet, knowing Jimmy how I know Jimmy. This is how he slips those things in to say, "Hey, didn't you see the email?" So
For all I know, it could be guys that play, with the North and get plucked, or, the North and
right.
the other team. Yeah.
And regardless,
there's a lot of guys that play for multiple teams.
Regardless who the culprit is, they're not doing anything wrong. And this is the problem. You can't have your cake and eat it too with Bedford with this stuff. You can't have the ability to play on all these different teams, but then restrict them, and now you're gonna fault guys like Booth, or what you're gonna do is Zoom's never gonna play Gumby's, which is bullshit in certain manners.
Yeah.
Leaper's never gonna play Gumby's, which they don't do anyways. Which
bullshit.
It's fine, but it does skew the A division standings.
As Derek would say, bunch of pussies.
Yeah. Let's move on from anything Derek says because he didn't want.
It was funny at the time.
He didn't want to be here. So, I don't even like the half game switching. You shouldn't have to.
Alex is telling me, he goes, Too Nasty and Steamboats were playing at the same time. Went over for one drive with Steamboats and then came back to Too Nasty. So that could very well be it.
And maybe a ref complained.
Yeah, or a player even.
But who's going to complain on those two teams?
No, not on those two teams.
Somebody watching?
No,
Yeah.
opposing those teams. They're not playing against each other. That they were
I
on
thought
different
he was saying they
fields
were
at the
playing
same
each
time.
other.
No, that's what he's going on.
Yeah, it could be.
Because they already played each other.
Yeah, you're right. So it could be DeSicchio. Good job, buddy.
Way to screw it.
Yeah, way to screw the whole nation.
Not even us, just other people in general.
Right, every nation. Gumby Nation, Zoom Nation.
Leaper Nation.
Everybody.
Natty D's Nation. Oh,
They'll be back. So, that's the shit I can't stand. And quite frankly, with the fact that captains can request times, shit can be super manipulated and made not fair for a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of times teams, and I've been very critical about it, say, well, we can only play at 7. We've seen a lot of teams like that over the years, and it pigeonholes everybody else.
Yep.
You play every game at 9 and 10 o'clock, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen there. And then, rules like that also make it harder for him to do the friggin' schedule. Because now, all of a sudden, if Zoom makes a stink, and they're like, well, we never want to play Gumby's, and you go, okay. So now that's one more thing on top of whoever else is going to say that shit to him and whoever else is going to say, don't put us at the same time.
Yeah.
So, there's got to be a little more wiggle room with that. On top of, how many times, honestly, he's asked Adam or I to ref a time slot that one of our teams is playing.
Oh, I can't even tell you how many times he's done it to me.
Right, but we've done it before, and then certain refs wouldn't put us on the roster because we were reffing. And I told Jimmy, no, we're doing you a favor because a ref called out or shit like that.
Yeah.
One, I'm technically losing money by not playing with the team I paid for. Number one, yes, I know I'm getting paid to ref, but I'm not getting the full pay. I just lost money.
Yeah.
But I'm doing you this favor. Like, it makes sense to, hey, yeah, check him down. He's reffing, you know. But whatever. I just noticed that now, and it's pissing me off. And then he throws the whole, lastly, we are improving on the only the captain can discuss a call with our refs.
I hate that
so
much.
I get it to a point.
I don't.
To a point, but
well, here's the thing: is my captain on Zoom is Dougie. Dougie's a quarterback. Dougie doesn't play defense. Dougie doesn't see everything on defense. You know, he might be talking to Bernie or whoever's on the sideline with him about offense, about what they need to do.
Right.
If something happens, I get pissed off and I start yelling at a ref. Dougie doesn't know what just happened. And stuff like that.
I just don't like take the yelling out. Even if you're a player discussing something with a ref, and I've seen it, I've been a part of it. All of a sudden, you have the ref. You've proved your point, and the ref is wrong, and he follows up with, "Are you the captain?" Like that is the cheesiest way out of a, and that's what they do, and that's the shit that pisses me off. On top of, let's just say, even in theory, let's say Dougie's watching every play from every angle possible, and he knows the right call. If he tells the ref's still not going to listen to him anyways. So it's just, it's a cheesy way to minimize some of the stuff that Bedford's try to minimize, which I respect and I like. You know, it doesn't get out of hand like some tournaments, and I respect that, and that's the way you want it. But when you take it too far, or you abuse that rule, let's say, you know, that's when it gets corny, and I don't like
if I'm not even allowed to say, "Oh, that's bullshit" to a ref, and then I get a flag because I said that.
It's the swearing.
I know, but still, it's the men's league.
I know.
We signed a waiver. Why don't the refs?
You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You know, I won't deny swearing at refs. I've been flagged for it. I've been ignored on it when I should have been flagged for it. But be it as it may, these are the type of things, like, if I'm playing on a team, I should be able to discuss a call or talk to a ref about something.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys sometimes just literally just want to be out there, not talk to anybody, get there and leave. You know, which I get it. I understand to a point, but you're there providing a service.
Yeah.
Provide that service.
Yeah. I mean, I try my best, and whenever I do miss anything, and people start yelling at me, I just be honest with them and just go, "I missed it."
Yeah. And a lot of times that's, you know, they just want you to be honest, or at least make their point.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, if I'm missing something as a ref, and someone needs to remind me, hey, make sure you're looking for this.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you do need to be kept honest, but people take things personal, and a lot of times players don't come off the way they really are trying to say things, just because of how they are, so amped up and all worked up. So, all right, we'll move on from that. Sometimes I get aggravated with that.
I just wanted to say, Adam does make a fair point. Refs will throw a flag if you swear at them, but not at other players.
Yeah, it's a hypocritical thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's so stupid. Yeah. I know. I made that point 2 weeks ago. So.
Yeah.
All right. I would say it's looking like, in my opinion, that Wednesday will have 6A teams. I don't think they can't do 6A teams.
Do we got like a core 4 type thing?
Well, you got Gumbies, Leapers, and Nasty Boys without Gumbies, Leapers, and Nasty Boys in North are the core 4 right now without Natty D's. Gumbies, Leapers, Nasty Boys, and Natty D's typically are the core 4 with the North looking on the outside over the past year or so with attendance issues.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they still have that, but
attendance issues. Yeah. Nah, it looks like every week
it's getting better, but I still think they have that.
They don't have 4 guys, at the start of some games anymore.
Yeah.
They have, I mean, when we played them, they had fucking 9 guys or whatever.
Yeah.
So you got that to me is your core 4 right now, with on the outside looking in, potentially, you got Flip the Bird, Safety Patrol. Depending on how, I guess, Whack Pack does. I mean, you could.
I would say looking in right now, you have Flip the Bird, Safety Patrol, Whack Pack, and Get Plucked.
Yeah.
That's my looking in at the A's.
You could do 8 A teams.
You could.
You could make a case, and they probably would be decent enough games to make them all happen.
My only problem is I feel like Jimmy's going to, he'll feel like he's cheating out the lower teams of playing more games. And he's giving too much to the A's.
Maybe. I just think he can't do 8. Well, with the extra time slots available right now, he could. So it's a potential he might. But your top 4 for sure. If he did 4, it's going to be Gumbies, Leapers, the North, and Nasty Boys. And it honestly doesn't really matter how the records stand out because if you're any B teams, you don't want those other teams in the Bs because the chances are they're going home with that title. If he does 6, it'll probably be Safety Patrol and Flip the Bird. Mm-hmm. If he does 8, it'll probably be the other 2 that you said.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think he should do 8.
You just want him to do 8 so bad.
No, because with the less slots, he could do a C and a B. He doesn't have to do a B1, B2.
Yeah. This way we're no longer making a D division. We just actually have a C division. Right.
So, yeah, pretty clear cut, to me. And I think Whack Pack and I think they deserve a shot in the A's. See what kind of run they can make.
I mean, they did on that Monday, Thursday, when it was Mondays.
Yeah, they did.
Thursdays, they did have that.
They got a little taste.
Yeah.
Pike sent him home, and he was on the podcast that week to talk about it.
DeSico says the force to A's when we are full strength.
I don't think so.
Hey, if it's a contact league, that team's different. I can tell you that right now. Not just with that size. Kevin, I'm Kevin's biggest critic. Kevin is him in contact right now.
Really?
Yes. Unreal.
I don't believe that at all because that man has been, I feel like, the same as me, where it's like I don't do contact. I signed up for the draft and I don't do contact.
I promise you, he played awesome.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him. One, he played well enough for me to say, hey, if Nasty Boys ever does contact down at Worlds again, you're the guy.
Really?
I swear to God. Go, we have a quarterback now.
Yeah.
But I would like to see him more in the not modified Worlds rules that the fundamental does, in the more Worlds rules, and that field seems a little bigger than regular Worlds field. So, not knocking anything. I love that format.
Yeah.
I love the way they're doing it. It's kind of fun. And you take those aspects out of the game away. QB Kev, I would like to see him rock at that actual format and see how he could do. We done with Wednesdays? I think that's pretty clear cut.
Yeah, I think
like our A division.
Yeah,
Not much.
I feel like most teams know where they're going to line up already at this point.
Yeah, some good games, but I was kind of busy walking around doing my surveys.
Can I just talk about? I'm sorry, I hate to go back to it already, but I want to talk about a player that complains about refs making calls against Nasty Boys and then gets a call for himself and then.
Let me guess, Tyler Pike.
Oh, Tyler
weird.
Pike. The man runs the same play twice in a row. Our corner at the time, Dave Volpe, tells Fresh, "Hey, watch out for that." Fresh goes, "Got it." Fresh jumps the route, and it's not an easy route to jump. He's fighting with the ball in the air with Nick. They spin around. Fresh clearly picks it. His glasses fly off. Lens pops out. I didn't tell you that earlier. That's why I think this is hilarious.
It's way funnier when I vision it that way. No
He
offense.
has the ball secured in his hands, elbows hit, and then the ball hits the ground, but the ball doesn't move in his hands. It just stays secure.
Sure.
Snow's the downfield ref. We all think pick. Frickin' what's his name? Mark thinks it's a pick. Everybody thinks it's a pick. Even the receiver goes, "That was a nice pick." Snow goes, "No pick." And I honestly think, if anything, you know, he might have been just throwing that to Pike just to be like, see, we don't just call everything for people that play with Steve.
Buddy, you know what Pike was doing when he did that.
I
know
was
for
so
sure
pissed.
that's what he
I
was
was
doing.
living with a kid.
Once he found out certain people listen to the show, he started planting his little seeds. He thinks he's smart. He's not. He's a little shithead genius.
That's all I
Or
really have to
evil
say
shithead.
about that. And I will say this, David Kapp is a really good teammate. That's it.
I agree. All right, we're gonna move on to Thursdays. Probably 4 A division teams out of this.
Yeah.
I got young ones for sure. Who to me, if young ones get their whole fucking team there, are the front runners. I know Bad Batch is in, and I know they got the guys.
It's the same thing. Just get the guys there.
Right. They haven't even showed up. These guys haven't played together in a while. You know, you don't want your first game together to be against one of the top 8 teams on Mondays.
Yeah.
And get smacked and end up bouncing out of the playoffs when you finally all get together and show up. But young ones, Bad Batch, in my opinion, clear front runners for the title.
Yep.
I think Too Nasty should be an A's.
Is Aviation Nation still in this?
Aviation Nation's there.
And any other significant, like, low A, high B1 team?
Where is Aviation Nation? They're not on this one.
I don't know.
They just played them last week and lost.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a team that also is in A's, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't know of any Thursday teams right now. I haven't been playing.
I mean, the
Thursdays.
Mambas are there.
Oh, Mambas could also be that. I think we got 2 solid teams, and we probably have 3 teams looking in. Whatever
Yeah.
team isn't is gonna win B1.
Yeah, probably. I agree. So, all right, more to come with the season getting here. I mean, again, we're what, week 4? So
Yeah.
we're not gonna dig deep into too much of who wins regular season games that don't matter too much. So I got a couple shout outs as we gonna wind down the show here. I got shout out to Footloose Phil.
R.I.P. No, I'm kidding.
He goes, you
But
really
do
can,
get well soon.
he goes, you really can call me Footloose Phil now. I was like, oh, it's too soon. Broke his ankle, unfortunately, at the rookie showcase. So
That rookie showcase was really fun.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of time to show all your skills, and for people that know you more, like I feel like people know who I am a little bit more than most of the guys that were on my team. So I let the guys that are on my team play more. I didn't care playing offense. I didn't care about playing defense, but they're like. You even saw it with other teams. People that know players, they don't have to prove themselves as much.
Sure.
So they're letting other people expose themselves. And some of those guys that, you just, let step into your position, they balled the fuck out.
yeah, it's a lot of talent in this league. The draft league, unfortunately, a lot of guys dropping off the board for one reason or another. That superstars, first round talent, which is kind of a bummer. But be it as it may, there's still a shit ton of talent.
I know. Like Ant Williams was a rookie this year.
Yep.
Is a rookie this year, I should say.
He honestly, I can say it now. He was somebody I was really gearing for
He's like
from my first pick.
he's either a top 5 or a top 10 pick.
I know.
And I played against him in the showcase. That man played 3 drives on offense, probably in total. Not only in my game, in his second game as well. And really only played defense. And it was because people know what he can do on offense. He doesn't need to really prove himself. Let the other guys get a shot, up their stock value and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I would have had a 19 or wherever I was at 22 or something, 21. I know I would have had a hard time really hoping he would slip down.
I don't think he is.
Now I don't think so for sure. But
from what I heard, he's going
Yeah.
either 5 or 6.
yeah, and it makes sense, and it's well deserved that you got a guy who can do anything. He's physically very strong and athletic, and he's a guy who's going to show up and play.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Sunday. He wants to have fun.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
He'll be there.
But yeah, Adam told me it was a cool time, everybody being there.
Yeah.
It was almost even, I felt cooler because I watched some of the live, but I thought it was cooler when it was in the dome because it almost seemed more professional in the dome. It was like, and we were just, you could see people all throughout the whole friggin' dome and just field after
That's
field.
because you guys were going from winter into spring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going from summer into fall.
I know.
So
And Bova's cheap, can't tighten those.
the
purse
only thing I'm
strings.
going to criticize him on is his filming of the games. The other guy filmed great. I think Bova, you got to step it up a little bit. You got to announce the players that make the plays, and that way people in the rookies will be like, okay, that guy kept making plays. This guy didn't.
That's why Bova doesn't do the lives. That is, he sucks at it, and he always has to ref. So
Yeah.
I still gotten a couple interest on my co-host for that show. I'm
Really?
still thinking.
I'll be in the games.
So, all right, and I want to give a shout out to Jay Townsend. Just had some stuff I had to deal with, and he came through and really helped me out over the past few weeks. Helped me keep the cog moving, as some might say. Really appreciate it.
Jay Townsend's a real one.
Don't think those things go unnoticed, buddy. I do appreciate it. I don't take that shit for granted. That's really all I had off the top of my head. You guys have anything before we wind down the show?
All I'm going to say is love your moms and love your grandmothers.
Any good comments we wanna fester up
Not of recent. We do have an email. It might spawn
Oh, we got an email.
during the show?
those
Get out of
a
here.
couple days.
No.
Oh yeah, I did want to go over emails.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Thanks.
We did talk about that
I
earlier.
told Connor to remind me.
What, did you get one too, Mr.
Huh?
Which one are you talking about?
I'm gonna go over right now. I'm gonna go only the email that makes sense.
Okay.
That actually brings the show, not just ripping on people and funny shit. That's funny too, but I like to do those ones together. Hey Pops, can we get a good top 5 or top 10 up and coming players list? I do not expect to be on this list by any means. I'm just curious who y'all see becoming an all-star caliber player in Bedford next season or in the next 5 years.
I like his honesty.
And he said, "Hold on, it's not done." So
Oh, fuck.
I had to read it. I had to read it before I said it. But side note: if Danny Cruz isn't in the top 5, I'm coming to the set and I'm throwing the table. This guy named it. His signature was AD. I don't know who that is. So I think I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but when I have time to really sit down and kind of, honestly, walking around last week with the notepad and asking people questions, just got made me open my eyes and looking at some people as I'm doing that. But one, if you see me walking around with the notepad and you haven't taken the survey, it's just 4 questions. Take the survey. I'm really trying to hit 50 people so I can get a good.
I didn't take the survey.
Right. You came in later and we had a game. So, but yeah, if you see me walking around with it and buddy, 2 minutes. Come how about be part of the show. But I've talked about it before. I wanted to have a top player list of players who aren't in the A division.
Yeah.
And I was going to do a top 10. Now it's not that easy. It's a little difficult because how do I approach that? Whack Pack made the A division last season, but are they an A team? Like, is that fair? And like Danny Cruz would be considered, eligible, except 2 seasons ago he was on an A division team. So would he not be? Where do I draw that line? And where do I do it that makes sense? Because, I'm not saying like Dave does put a lot of thought into the list.
I know.
And he does a good job.
Sometimes I get angry with him, but I like
Sure. We might not agree with his list, but he puts thought into it. He tries to put a basis to the list so people understand it. But yet people like Gino don't even fucking listen. They screenshot the list to other people and start a bunch of shit without taking it and whatever.
Top 10 players that don't play in Bedford that used to play in Bedford.
No.
Dude, you see they got you at 10?
No, but when Dave came in and did one of his lists, that's what Gino did.
Yeah.
And as bulletin board material, it is Goober North chats, sends it out there and starts this whole, this is Steve's list when it wasn't even my list. And
I feel like the list is a Dave thing now.
Well, yeah, I said he's the king of lists. I mean, Pike had a great idea, poorly executed.
That was sucked.
Kind of like his play calling sometimes,
I think we should have Pike do another list just so we can see him hyperventilate again when the bullets start coming at him forward.
Yeah, I don't need that. I told you, I don't need somebody dying in my living room. But
It'd be worth it though.
yeah. So I wanted to have a good basis where people could understand, and I'm not gonna get so much shit about it by ding dogs like Gino who don't actually listen to the show and just take a screenshot and run it and make whatever narrative they want to make. But it was an idea I had cooking, so I'll execute it on a. We got a couple good shows. I'm in Ohio this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do it.
This weekend or next weekend?
This weekend.
It's this weekend?
Yeah.
I thought it was the 5th. Sorry.
No, this weekend. So I'll be back Monday. So we're still going to do the show Tuesday. I just don't know if I have enough time to bear down and think about it.
Yeah.
And then we have the Tambo feud game. So we'll get to it eventually. So we'll make it happen.
Sorry, I just had the jingle go in my head. I don't know how it goes, but it's in my head and it works.
Listen, I need good sound effects. I'm gonna stand up there with I'm gonna be dressed well, buddy. I'm gonna do my best. So I'm gonna do my interviews. All right, Booth, where are you from? What do you do? All right.
What was the first host of that show?
Oh, I don't know. That was a while ago.
I know.
What the heck
I'm trying to
was
remember his name.
I forget.
All I know is there was a big thing with how he used to kiss the contestants on the lips.
You want me to kiss Booth? Hey, Joe, Zach, woo! Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, you want to be part of the show now, Ben? Yeah.
Who's gonna be on your team, Ben? Okay, who's gonna be on your team?
No, he just wants me to kiss him. That's what he wants.
Please.
So, well, if him and Isaac ever come, they can actually make a team.
That would be a great team.
But Isaac, no call, no showed. What should I do with him?
I don't know. What does he want you to do with him?
I know what he wants. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to have him one time awkwardly show up when we're full, and I'm going to make him stand on the wall. Just stand there. We'll call you when we need you.
Phone in.
Yeah. We'll make sure we have a bunch of food, but we'll tell him he can't eat any of it. Yeah. What a dick.
This is Tambo time cast only.
All right. Well, that's all I got. You guys have anything?
Nope.
All right.
Nothing left.
Connor, thanks for showing up. Ben, thanks. You are the number one reason this show goes.
You're welcome.
We can't do anything out without you. You're good looking. I'm ugly. You're smart. I'm stupid.
Well, there was that one episode, but it didn't end up well.
You're jacked and tan. I'm ugly and skinny and pale.
Hey, what's wrong with being skinny?
Whose beard is better, Steve?
Not yours. That's why I draw the line. All right. Good night, Grease.
Why don't you get a toupee with some brains?
Bedford Games. Yup. Bedford Games. Let's fucking go. Bedford Games. Let's put on a show. Bedford Games. You already know. Bedford Games. We're going 6-0.